After weeks in the Utah desert, it's time for a change. I am leaving Moab behind and crossing into Colorado, trading red rock and heat for alpine air and mountain trails. This is where adventure takes a new turn. If you're new here, my name is Connor, and for the past 2 months I've been living out of my Toyota Tacoma, traversing the TransAmerica Trail on my path from Oregon to North Carolina. Good afternoon. Welcome to Moab. We're just outside the Sand Flats recreation area. It's another beautiful day. We just got a week of supplies, so we're all set to head out back into the backcountry. It should be a fun one. It's definitely going to be scenic, but I am anxious to get to Colorado, and I'm ready for a change of scenery. I'm ready to get back into some trees. I'm ready for the mountains. So this trip's going to be about the tail end of Utah and making our way to the Colorado border. So we're going to enjoy it while it lasts. But yeah, I'm excited for what this trip has to offer. Up kind of in the Sand Flats area. It's a pretty popular area. If you haven't been here before, it is busy, even for a Monday. There's a bunch of rigs that pass by, side-by-sides, Jeeps, buggies, anything you can imagine, really. But let's hit the road. So I'll give you a quick shot of the map. There's Moab, so we're up above Sand Flats. So we're going to be going along, I don't know if it's a trail or, you know what, I think it's just a route. So we go through pretty scenic parts, and then pretty cool mountainous areas up in here, it looks like. And then eventually it goes pretty straight for a while, and then we cross into Colorado right over here. So that's kind of the route over the blue cursor. So that's where we're trying to get, good old Colorado. So we are climbing, dropped it into 4 low, so we're going so slow. But pretty rough road. Definitely not like super technical, just kind of rough with all the rocks and stuff. So we're just taking our time and cruising up the mountain. But yeah, really nice day. Not too many people. It is a Monday, so, but yeah, we're just cruising on up. Just gotta go slow. So there's a little ground shot. You can kind of see some of the ground for reference. So I have passed some cars, but so I think you could easily do this in a car, but it is nice with the Tacoma. We're all aired down, and a 4 low allows us to kind of just creep through here. So it's really not too bad. Well, it's about 3 o'clock, so I'm going to take a little afternoon break from the road. It's kind of cool. We're transitioning into more of like kind of subalpine or really high in elevation right now. We've just been climbing the whole day since Moab. So it's pretty cool, pretty high. The leaves are starting to change. You guys will probably watch this episode in October, but you can see the first signs of fall right there. It's pretty exciting. I can already tell a difference just in the bugs between the cooler nights and the overcast. Been seeing a few storms, so super pumped for fall. But yeah, it'll be nice in Colorado once we get there. I think once we get there, we'll be able to see a lot more of the fall colors. So, but I'm gonna eat an apple and just kind of stretch the legs a little bit. Still, I'm not where I want to be today, even though there's like tons of camping around here. I feel like that's the story of my life. It's like, I find the best campsites. I find the best campsites when I don't want to stop yet. But that's kind of the fun part of it. Is finding where you're gonna sleep for the night. But being spontaneous, unplanned, I kind of like it. So you never quite know where you're gonna end up. But I'll catch you guys in a little bit when I'm back on the road. Found a camp for the night. I was looking on the map and it looks like the rest of the drive is going to be more private land coming up, so figured I'd snag a spot before then. But it's really gorgeous up here. And there's no one up here, and there's also a pit toilet literally right down the road, about 100 yards from me. So you can't really beat a spot like this. And even though there's not much shade, it's really not that hot up here. So I'm not too worried about not having shade. But it's a pretty nice little spot. You can fit a big camp in here. But yeah, it's probably like, 59 degrees or something up here. Compared that to 90 in Moab. But yeah, it was a good day today. Turning in kind of early, but that's alright. See, we got the mountain. I gotta look on the maps and see what mountain that is, but it's a pretty nice mountain. Look. But yeah, haven't really seen anyone on this road. So I'll be curious to see, if there's traffic tonight or anything like that. But so far, nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and kick off dinner. I think steak and potatoes kind of night. Keep it simple, but tasty. So the key with potatoes is you got to cut them really thin, so that way they cook even. Because we don't have an oven out here, obviously. I'd love to have a baked potato or a fire. I could make a baked potato, but we're outside of fire season still. But pan frying's pretty easy. Just get a skillet or a pan nice and hot. So just waiting for the pan to heat up. And then I like to use pure Irish butter. I think it's really good and good for you. So you go pretty liberal on the butter. Then we'll just add in the potatoes. So we got a ribeye here. We're gonna cut kind of around. See, I think this is bone in. So I'm gonna cut this a little bit so I can fit it in my smaller pan. Should be a good size there. We'll pre-season a little bit. Steak feels pretty dry, so that's a good thing. If you can, take this out, half an hour or hour before you're going to cook it, and let it get to room temp. It'll cook more evenly. You do want the pan pretty warm for steak. So we're still using a medium heat here. So you never cook on high heat on these pans, ever. So you cook on a low to medium heat always. So once I feel my pan's pretty good, I'm just going to add a lot of butter. This butter's good. Right in the pan. And I can adjust the heat, when I put that steak in the pan, and I hear it. If my pan's a little cold, a little too cold, I'll just adjust the heat. Cooking your steak's going to depend on how thick it is. So a thicker steak is going to be on longer. Versus a thinner steak, won't be nearly as long. So to get the doneness, I'm just tapping down, and you're going to feel it firm up a little bit. So this steak, I'm already going to turn it off because I can feel it just starting to firm up. Potatoes are looking good. Let's get this thing off. Not too bad. So I like to let my steaks rest for a few minutes before I cut them open. So we're just going to let it rest for a couple minutes. So a little more tricky to get medium rare on a thinner steak, but that's not too bad. Still got some nice pink in there. It's a lot easier on a thicker steak to get it medium rare, but I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to enjoy this meal. Very good. This is a very good steak. So yeah, we got soapy water. It's nice and hot. And so what I'm going to do is basically clear this area. So we got our sponges and our dish towels, this guy. So I'll just take a sponge and then kind of just put everything in. And then I take my utensils, the knives, wipe them down, get them dried. Then I can set them on the cutting board. Well, it's getting to be that time. About ready to call it a day. It's early still, but I'm exhausted. I'm like really exhausted. So I think I'm gonna start getting stuff organized in the truck. Got to charge stuff, and then got a little bit of service. I think I'm gonna try to find a movie or something to watch, maybe a little YouTube, and just kind of relax for the next hour or so. First thing first, we gotta get our stuff charged. Bring this back over here. All right. These are all our cables here. These are our cables. The good thing is, like, everything is going to USB-C, so it's just making it really easy to charge all this gear. So we'll do you. We will do you. I don't charge everything, every night, because it doesn't always need it. Like my microphones, they've got their own battery, like a battery bank, like the AirPods kind of, where it fits in the case, so you don't have to charge that thing every night. So we got our So it's the main camera batteries here. So these just kind of plug in. So the next thing I like to do is I like to have my clothes laid out for the next day. It's really important because my clothes are up here in my duffel bag, so I can't really get to them if I don't bring them out and put them in the truck somewhere. So I get my clothes ready for the night before. So these will just sit on my dash right here above the wheel. So I got socks, a shirt, underwear, all that's kind of ready to go. So for the next day. Well, it's about 9:30 and I think I'm gonna call it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning. Tomorrow's gonna be interesting. I did look at the route a little bit to check it out, and I think it's gonna be mostly flat roads, kind of urban areas, private land. So most of the day is just gonna be getting through some of these stretches that you just have to get through. So it may not be that interesting, but I think by the end of the I think by the time we reach camp, we'll find a really cool spot. So as we get into Colorado, so looking forward to it. Good morning. It's about 7 a.m. Pretty nice view. It's like perfect temperature right now. Nice, kind of cool and crisp. It's not too cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some coffee going. All right, we are all packed up and ready to hit the trail. I went ahead and aired up the tires because we got a big, like, straight track. Looks like some paved roads coming up as we make our way into Colorado. So I'm sure we'll be airing down again this afternoon, but that's just how it works sometimes. So, but I'm ready to get back on the old trail. So, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. So we made it back into some public land. I'm at the Lone Dome State Wildlife Area. Kind of a busy road. Lots of trucks, tourists, traffic along this gravel road here. So, not an ideal spot for sure. It's kind of windy in this canyon here too. But I made it work. Got some lunch. Pretty late, but got it done. But I think I'm gonna keep on trucking. It's getting to be that hour where I need to start thinking about finding camp. So, just nice to see some more public land. Be nice if there was some pit toilets out here, but so I went and checked the weather in Durango, and it's like they got a flood watch for the next few days. So we're gonna be in for some interesting weather. You can see that system. So I don't know how it's gonna be, but it's gonna be interesting. So been looking for a camp and keep running into, looks like bow hunters. So there's not too many unoccupied, dispersed camping. The hunters have seemed to taken all the good spots. So it might be a problem. We'll see. I'm hoping there's like just enough public land here that, there's still going to be spots, but I'm pretty tired. I was kind of hoping to get to camp early, and maybe take a nap or something. I didn't get very good sleep last night. I think the truck was just ever so slightly parked, so the front end was up just a little bit, and the blood just rushed to my head and kept waking me up. But we're gonna keep on looking for camp. It's kind of what it looks like. We got all these dark clouds around us, and I keep thinking, we're gonna hit a storm, but we never do. So, I guess we'll have to see. But I'll check in with you when I come across a good-looking camp. We're going through this tunnel of aspen. It's pretty cool. But this really looks like Colorado. It's so different, You think that, it would all start to look the same, but Colorado is really different from the Pacific Northwest. The trees are different. There's a lot more patchwork, like just meadows and stuff. You don't really see that in the Pacific Northwest unless it's a clear cut. And there's also like these aspen forests, which are really cool. I just saw this little side road here. I think I'm gonna take it. It looks like it might be a good camp. Honestly, I'm so beat from today that I'm gonna take it. See what we can find. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty nice looking camp. if I've ever seen one. Yeah. I think I'm going to take this camp. Wow, this is gorgeous. Wow. So cool out here. So, it's turned out to be a pretty good camp. Kind of nestled in here among some aspens. But we're in the San Juan National Forest again. I've kind of been crossing in and out of it. But it's pretty nice up here. Really mild temperatures. So I really like that. But yeah, the weather is kind of going to be unpredictable for the next few days, unfortunately, when we're crossing through the San Juan Mountains and stuff. Can't really control that. And we have to keep moving. So I'm getting to be on a timeline to finish this. So I've got some big stuff planned for the winter series. So I need to prep for that. And I also need a little bit of a break after this expedition. Be nice to be stationary for a little bit somewhere, you know. So well, it's almost 8 o'clock. See, this thing will focus. So, getting pretty dark, pretty quick. So, about ready to turn in. But I was looking at the map a little bit, and so there's different routes we can take. Obviously, Colorado seems to vary the most on the different routes you can take for the TransAmerica Trail. So basically, I think I'm going to take the route that goes through Telluride because I kind of want to see a really cool Colorado mountain town, and Telluride is definitely up there. So I think I'm going to head into Telluride, maybe stop at a coffee shop or something. But that's kind of the plan. But it's about 100 miles of, mostly dirt roads to get there. So I don't know if we'll get there tomorrow, but, well, it's getting to be about that time. But I'm definitely tired. It's been a long day. It feels really good to be finally in a new state again, though. To be in Colorado. I feel like it feels different. I don't know if it's the aspen forests, the elevation, but it's definitely unlike any place I've ever been. It's not like the Pacific Northwest. It's not like the Sierra. It's definitely different from Utah. So, really excited to explore around here. Well, I'm going to call it a wrap on this episode. It was a lot of fun to see the transition from the desert up into the mountains of Colorado. I think it was a really fun episode. And I will see you guys on the next one. It's going to be really fun. We're going to be in the heart of the San Juan Mountains. And so I think it's going to be a great episode. So definitely stay tuned for next week's episode. This is Connor out.